I'm making a Dots fudge. Now I've made the nougat candy before, but not just the fudge. All right, so you want about 3 cups of white chocolate chips or white vanilla baking chips. Oh, I was scolded because I call it white chocolate instead of baking chips, guys, really. Oh my. If you're that upset about it, you really need to get a life. Okay. I have my sweetened condensed milk here, and I am going to stir this every 30 seconds while I'm melting it in the microwave. Okay, my second stirring. My microwave, I go about 45 seconds to a minute in between each stirring. It just depends on your microwave. But I tell everybody 30 seconds so that if your microwave is more powerful than mine, you don't burn your white chocolate baking chips. Okay, so I'm going to take and put in my dots here and leave some for top. This recipe is based off of my 2-ingredient fudge recipe in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2, on page 2 something. Where'd it go? Page 315. I am pouring in now I probably should have used a few more dots, but I am not going to the store for another box. I had to use a few for another recipe, so that's what happened. All right. Yum. Okay, I washed my hands so I don't get white chocolate all over my decorations here. Putting a few on top. Okay, now because I had so many red in this, I don't know why I had so many red this time. I went ahead and did my other colors first to get those evenly distributed. And then put the red all around. Where do I put the last one? There. Okay, I'm gonna let this set up and then we will cut it. I have dot fudge here. Now, oops, got a piece of chocolate fudge on it. Release the sides. Okay, now on the chocolate one, I did it from turned over, but I think I'm not going to. Okay, let's see. There we go. Oh, here's a piece that actually didn't get any in it. Okay, let me find one that here. Wow, that tastes really good. Just like the nougat candies you used to be able to get at the store. Love it. I'm making a 3-ingredient Butterfinger fudge. I have my chips here. And my sweetened condensed milk. All right. Now I'm going to melt this in the microwave, stirring every 30 seconds. All right, let me see if I got this melted. Ooh. Might just be perfect. You'll see, I might need another 30 seconds actually. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I got these Butterfinger bits. Never seen them before. Something new. So are they just crushed up Butterfingers? Yep, they're just crushed up Butterfingers. All right. So I'm sprinkling in some Butterfingers. Very interesting. Okay. So now I'm going to pour my crushed Butterfingers mixture into my pan. Okay. And then I am going to sprinkle some on top. Sprinkle some on top, and then we are going to refrigerate this, and then I will come back and cut it. I'm setting this outside because I live in Wyoming and it's cold today and snowy, so it'll set up quicker than in the refrigerator. Okay, let that set up, we'll cut it. I have my Butterfingers fudge, and oops, it didn't quite get set up yet, but let's see if we can cut it. I was told I did not have a big enough knife to cut, so I got a bigger knife. So let's see what this baby does. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, wow. Oops, I forgot I did this wrong again. Oh, this is very lovely. Okay, I have to say, I like this cutting apparatus. My husband said I should try a sword next. I don't know, what do you guys think? Comment and let me know. Should I try a sword next? Okay, I didn't cut these the right size because I forgot which pan I was cutting in my excitement to use my new cutting device. Oh, that's pretty funny. All right, guys, a Butterfinger fudge. There we go. Okay, if you love Butterfingers, this is a 10 out of 10. My mom loves Butterfingers, so this batch is going to her. Then to store this, you can just put it on a plate. It might still slightly soft. I should have left it in the fridge another hour, but I'm in a hurry to get videos done. Oops. Well, this one's harder fudge, so you don't need to put in between. And then you can either put a deli tray on top, or you can cover it in foil. This is going straight to my mom, so I'm not gonna do, or I mean saran wrap. This is going straight to my mom. So I'm gonna do it just like that, but you can store in the refrigerator or freezer until Christmas. I just wanted to clarify real quick before I get on with the rest of the fudge recipes. The base recipe is 2 ingredients, okay? So the base recipe is either chips and sweetened condensed milk, which is on page 315 in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2, or chips and frosting, which is not in my Dining on a Dime cookbook. It is on my website though, or chips and Cool Whip, okay? So all these recipes have a 2 ingredient base and then all of your optional add-ins. So I just want to clarify that before I get on with all of the other fudge recipes. Okay, today we are making red velvet fudge. 8 ounces of white and 3 ounces of milk. Chocolate chips melting in here. Oh, yum. My can of cream cheese frosting. And we're gonna add our red food coloring. Ooh, that does look like red velvet cake. Okay, now most of these this recipe doesn't call for vanilla, but I'm gonna add just about a half a teaspoon of my homemade vanilla here. Okay, now to make this look like real red velvet cake, what I'm gonna do is make a frosting top, so to speak, with cream cheese frosting or vanilla if you don't like cream cheese, but cream cheese or vanilla. And I'm just going to leave it plain white so it looks like frosting on my fudge. This all melted. We're going to let this set up and then we're going to cut it like that. Oh, yum! Some more 2 ingredient fudge. Got my pan, my parchment paper. graham crackers right here. I'm going to take the first of the graham crackers and spread them on the bottom. Then I'm going to take my bowl with chips. I prefer the mini ones because they melt quicker, but you don't have to. My sweetened condensed milk. Then my butter. And I'm going to melt all this together. Stir every 45 seconds or so until it is melted. Link my bowl in the description below. I absolutely love it. Okay. Then I'm going to take and put half on the bottom. Spread it around. And this doesn't have to be, you're kind of mixing your graham crackers in with your fudge, so it's not a big deal if you get some mixed in. Okay. And I'm going to take some marshmallows. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And then I'm going to take the rest of our fudge and spread it all around. Okay, and then I'm going to decorate the top with more marshmallows and graham crackers. And put them on top like that. And then we're going to put this in the fridge and let it sit up, and we will come back and cut it. Got my fudge. That is a s'more fudge. Yum. I'm not sure if I let this sit long enough in the fridge. This feels slightly soft. All right, here we go. It's our pheasant. My son named him Frank. He actually started a whole TikTok thing with Frank. Frank is becoming quite the TikTok star. Okay. Oh, that looks delicious. All right, which neighbors get all of the food today?
This is really good.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was thinking of s'more, the middle is usually a little harder. So I was like, ooh, a nice surprise. It's all soft and fudgy.
I am making a strawberry cream cheese fudge. Lining my pan. This is from another candy that didn't get my parchment messed up, so I'm reusing it. Melting my white chocolate first for about 30 seconds to a minute to get it softened, and then I'm going to add my frosting. The bowl is still pretty warm, so I'm going to mix. Okay, I'm going to have to nuke it for just a minute more. There we go. That looks delicious. All right, you guys, you can help me have world domination on YouTube for fudge recipes. If you love my fudge recipes, could you please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and share my videos? I would really appreciate it. This layer out. Okay, now I'm going to take my next white chips. Start melting these. All right, I just added my can of cream cheese frosting, and now I'm going to get these melted together. About 45 seconds more. You go clear down to the bottom and pull it up and over. And that will bring the pink up for your swirls. Okay, now you can set this in the refrigerator, or if you live in a cold climate like me, the garage or outside, however you want to do it. And we're going to let this set up. All right, my favorite handy dandy chopper. Let's see, how do I want to cut this? That looks so good. I am making 2 ingredient fudge, but this one's going to be 3 ingredient for summer. I have my white chocolate chips in my favorite microwave bowl, my sweetened condensed milk. Now, I use just less because there's only 11 ounces. I use just less, like 1 tablespoon less of sweetened condensed milk. And then my fudge will set up better. Okay, we're gonna melt this in the microwave. Okay, the original recipe is in our Dining on a Dime volume. Oh, what am I doing? The original recipe is in our Dining on a Dime volume 1, but I forgot. I wasn't even making the recipe right. Doop-de-doop-de-doo. Doop-de-doo. 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 There we go. All right. Just had a major fudge meltdown there. That is okay. I'm going to take my cookie mix and I'm going to add it all. Now they say add it all. I don't know, that just seems like a lot. So I think I'm just going to do half. Oh, 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 that is delicious. Holy macaroni. Delicious. Okay, then I got some sprinkles. And I'm going to sprinkle on top. I'm going to take the back of my... Okay. I'm going to put that in the fridge and let it set up and come back and cut it. I'll loosen from the sides here. I know it was an adventurous pouring, I know, but I think it's going to work. Now, of course, if you want thicker fudge, you can put it either in a loaf pan or you can put either in a loaf pan or double the batch. I think I'm going to go from the back because of the sprinkles. All right, so let's see what it looks like. Oh, okay, that is festive. Making a 2-ingredient caramel fudge. Oh, yum. Got my white chocolate chips. The recipe is in the description below. Only used half a bag. Then I have no idea how you say the name of this, but it's basically sweetened condensed milk that's been caramelized. And we're gonna put that in my bowl along with the lid because it fell. Oh my goodness, I am caramel lover. I will eat caramel before I'll eat chocolate. I love caramel. Okay, we're gonna put this in the microwave and let it go for 30-second increments, stirring in between until it's melted. Okay, I have to say I'm torn between making this all caramel or leaving the little white bits in there. I kind of like the look of the white bits. So if you like that look, you don't have to mix it all the way. All right, have my 8x8 pan lined with parchment paper, just to make it getting out easier. And I am going to spread this in my pan. Oh my goodness, this looks and smells so delicious. All right, we're gonna let this sit in the refrigerator and then we're gonna cut it. Got my caramel fudge, so I'm going to cut it into pieces. All right, I absolutely love caramel, so let me give this a try. Oh my goodness, that is caramel perfection. Not quite as good as caramel, but that is caramel perfection. Yum. I am making some 2-ingredient Almond Joy fudge. Got my chocolate chips and my sweetened condensed milk. Now, what I'm doing is I have this filling left over from my coconut snowballs. I ended up not making them all, and I don't want it to go to waste. So I am going to get my top and bottom fudge layer here all melted in the microwave. Now, this is just a package of coconut and a half a can of sweetened condensed milk. All right, get this all stirred in so that the fudge is all melted. And I forgot to add my butter. And I've been adding a sprinkle of salt to all of it, guys, because the world needs more salt, people. A half a can of sweetened condensed milk and a package of coconut. I'm just gonna microwave it for about 20 seconds just to soften it so it'll spread easier. This recipe is based off of my 2-ingredient fudge recipe in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2, on page 2 something. Where'd it go? Page 315. All right, you're probably like, Tara, what are you doing using a dirty pan? I just made caramel fudge in here, and I'm just gonna reuse it. No reason to waste another piece of parchment paper. Oops, there's a little piece of butter that didn't get quite mixed in. Okay, now you want a thicker layer on the bottom than you do on the top, but guys, the fudge police are not gonna come after you if you don't get it exact. All right, I'm going to, okay, well in my case, the fudge police will, because I'm on YouTube and it doesn't matter what I cook, I do something wrong, so. The fudge police will come after me, but the fudge police are not going to come after you in your own home. And if they do, they should not be in your home criticizing your cooking. So, yes. All right, next, I'm going to take and layer a good layer of almonds. And I'm using the whole almonds to be more like Almond Joy. And my coconut is nice and soft, and I have a little bit of coconut left over from my coconut snowballs. I'm just gonna pour that in there too, just to get it used up. And get that mixed in. I love Almond Joys. I love coconut and almonds. And I'm going to dump all that in there and get it all nice and even, just like so. This is a great way to use up all those little bits from some of your candies. Okay. All right, and get our chocolate, and I'm gonna blop my chocolate all over just so that it's easier to spread. Now mine's starting to cool off, so if it starts to cool off, you can just put it back in the microwave for 20 seconds or so, but I don't need to do that. And then I'm just going to spread it all around like this, and then we're going to put this in the refrigerator and let it set up a couple of hours, probably 4 or 5 hours, not a couple, a few hours. And then we will come back and cut it. Oh, yum. All right, my fudge is all ready. I'm going to loosen this edge. Loosen this edge. Or maybe not. Okay, let me try this again. There we go. There we go. My Almond Joy fudge. Oh, yum. Oops, I'm not used to this pan yet. I gotta figure out the number of pieces. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's a perfect thumbnail picture right there. Okay, I'm gonna try one right here. Just like an Almond Joy. Oh, yum. I am making a Buckeye or peanut butter ball fudge. So I've got my butter. Now, just measured my peanut butter because people were yelling at me because the jar is 16 ounces and that's not equal. That's not the same amount. Guys, it's 1 tablespoon less. It's not going to hurt anything. So I've got that already measured. Let me see. Pour half of it out here. Okay. There we go. All right, I've got my vanilla. Now, let me just show you how much a cap full of vanilla is. So there's my cap full. This is one, well, you can't see it, hold on. Okay, this one is 1 teaspoon, that one was 2, but voila, 1 cap full of vanilla is 1 teaspoon, okay? All right, got my vanilla in there, got my peanut butter, so we're gonna mix this up first. All right, then I'm going to add our powdered sugar. I got my peanut butter mixture here. I have a used but clean piece of parchment. Well, I don't think I'm gonna go both. Now, for someone like me who hates making peanut butter balls, but I absolutely love the taste, oh my goodness, this is the way to go, okay? I keep forgetting to wet down my parchment paper, and I never remember. My viewers gave me that tip. I think for this one I'm gonna use the 7x7, but you can use 8x8 if you want. I just forgot I have to use my 8x8 for another recipe today. Okay, I'm gonna get this all smooth. Make the fudge coating for this Buckeye fudge. I'm going to take my sweetened condensed milk. I'm only using a half a bag and a half a can, okay? But I am making another recipe that's gonna use the other half of this today. So I'm going to make the whole thing up right now because I'm just going to use it. Otherwise, I would just save the ingredients and just make it later, okay? So for this recipe, I'm going to use half of this, but because I'm using it for another recipe, I've got both. Then my titch of butter. And I have started doing a sprinkle of salt. And we're gonna microwave this and let it melt. Okay, it's been 30 seconds. I'm getting it all stirred up and let it go another 30 seconds until it's melted. All right. Oh, yum. There we go, it's all nice and smooth. Now, I'm gonna take just half of this. Now, if you want, you can make this and then just take the rest of this and put it in another container and it's just chocolate fudge. So you can do that if you want, but I'm making another variation of this peanut butter fudge recipe. So I'm gonna show you how I do that. All right, get this all smooth. All right, we're gonna let this set up in the refrigerator, and then we are gonna cut it. My Buckeye fudge. Oh my goodness. I bet this is delicious. All right. Cut. Oh, yum. Okay, I'm gonna clean the knife in between so I have clean cuts. Oh my goodness, that looks delicious. Okay, I'm gonna try a taste here. Yep, that is a 10 out of 10. That's delicious. Yum. I am making butterscotch fudge. Oh, yum. Now, this butterscotch only has, these butterscotch chips only have 11 ounces, and you really need 12 ounces. So, what you can do is either just leave a little bit of the sweetened condensed milk in the can, or you can just add a quarter to a half a package more of butterscotch chips in your fudge if you want. I'm just gonna leave a little bit out. Okay, gonna microwave this and we'll be right back. Okay, now I am going to add 2 tablespoons of fudge. Now this is optional, so you can make it 3 ingredient if you want, you don't have to, but it does, the butter does make it just slightly creamier. There we go. All right, get this all stirred up. I forgot I was putting the butter in, so it'll probably cool it down, so I might have to re-microwave it just a bit, but all right. We're gonna let that get all warm while we're preparing our pan. So I've got my foil here, fold it in half. There we go. And my pan, just fold it down. Now, if you want your pan to, if you want your paper to not slip, and sprinkle a few little things of water on the bottom, and then your pan, or then your parchment will not slip in your pan. Okay, now let's get this all mixed up. It is lunchtime and I have family trying to cook in the background, but tomorrow's church. Can you so I can take all my candy to church tomorrow and it will be gone in 3.4 seconds with all the kids eating it. Okay, get my butter melted. I love butterscotch too. I just love any form of caramel. I prefer it to caramel. I don't know, Jack. Which do you prefer, caramel or caramel?
I prefer caramel.
You prefer caramel?
Yes.
I don't think you're my son. I think you were switched at birth.
Gotta hold down the fort for all of our English.
I said caramel.
Caramel?
Caramel, that's how I said it, something like that.
PJ says caramel.
Okay, now we're gonna smooth this in our pan. Just like so. All right. We're gonna put that in the refrigerator and let it set up. All right, got my butterscotch fudge here. This is interesting. The butterscotch chips are a little bit softer than the other chips. Okay, it's softer, but wow. That is really delicious. If you want a more firm fudge, just use 1.5 bags of chips. That is good. A caramel apple fudge. Now this is kind of a throw all together recipe. Got my white chocolate chips here. And because the white chocolate chips have less ingredient or less in the package, you have to use about 1.5 bags. And then my sweetened condensed milk. All right, we're going to throw this in the microwave and melt it in 30-second increments until it is all melted. Okay, while that's melting, I've got a little bit of caramel left over from another recipe, and then I put a few more caramels in here, and I'm gonna melt that also. Okay, my caramels are in the microwave melting. I'm gonna stir this. Now I have just a titch of whipping cream in here to soften it because it was left over from the other recipe. So hopefully that will get softened. If not, you can put just a little bit of whipping cream in there if you want. Okay, get this all mixed together, the first 2 layers. Okay, now we're gonna add half a package of freeze-dried apples that have been a little bit crushed. Going to add my apple pie spice. Now, I don't have just apple pie spice by itself because I just use all the spices together, but you could use apple pie spice. And then I'm gonna add some pecans. Oh my goodness. Oh, this smells so delicious. Yum. Wow. Okay, and then I'm gonna take blobs of my caramel and sort of mix it all in too. Warm. Just kind of let it go all over the place. Okay, and then swirl in my caramel. All right, the bottom of my pan is slightly wet, and I'm reusing parchment paper from another recipe because it came out clean, so I'm not going to waste parchment paper. And then we're going to put all this yummy goodness in my pan. Now, you can just leave this like it is, and that's perfectly fine. It looks really good, but I happen to have these candies left over from another recipe, so I am going to put 1 for each piece of fudge, just because. And these candies all have different flavors too, so that's pretty cool. Oops. Some different colors here. All right, now we're gonna let let that set up, and then we are going to cut it. All right, we're gonna cut this. Now my slices are a little weird, going between my candies here. Okay, so here is, it's okay. Oh my goodness, okay, I'm gonna give this a taste. Oh, I love apples and caramel. This is delicious. I'm making a caramel apple fudge. Oh my goodness, so delicious. My white chocolate chips. I don't know how you pronounce that, but this is the caramelized sweetened condensed milk. You can find it in the Mexican food aisle. Careful you don't cut your hand. This recipe is based off my 2-ingredient fudge in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2. I have tons of variations in there. Okay, we're gonna microwave this in 30-second increments until it's melted. While that's melting, I've got my freeze-dried apples. And I'm gonna smash these up just a little bit. Not a ton, you don't want them to be powdered, just smaller chunks. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. I will take caramel over chocolate any day. I absolutely love caramel. Have my 8x8 pan lined with a half a piece of parchment paper. Okay, so now I'm gonna add about a half a package, yeah, about a half a package of freeze-dried apples and a few pecans. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love caramel apples. Okay, get that all mixed in. You kind of gotta work quick because it'll start setting up fairly quickly. You know what I'm gonna add? I'm gonna add some mini chocolate chips because I love chocolate dipped caramel apples. Yum. And this isn't near as much work as dipping caramel apples. All right, here we go. Oh my goodness, yum. Okay. I'm gonna push this in. Look at that, chocolate is swirling. Oh my goodness. I love this new combination already, and I haven't even tasted it because I know it's gonna taste good. I can just tell that it's gonna taste good. Oh my goodness. Yum. Wow. Okay, that looks good. Now you could decorate it with some fall sprinkles or with chocolate chips. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some Heath pieces and sprinkle it all over the top. Why? because I can. All right. The ladies at the gym are gonna love this one. All right, gonna set this in the refrigerator and let it set up, and then we'll come back and cut it. All right, here is my caramel apple, chocolate covered caramel apple fudge. All right, I absolutely love caramel apples. Oh my goodness, that is so darn tootin' delicious, it's not even funny. Yum.